So, hi, boys and girls. These are these cute little giraffes that we're going to draw today. This one here is in colored pencil with Sharpie. This one here is a watercolor, really cute, with a tree. And I even did this once with painting. Isn't that fun? You could do it with paint. But today we'll just draw it, and then you can decide how you want to color it, or if you want to color it. Okay, so let's get started. We're basically just showing these cute little giraffes in all sorts of different positions. So what we're going to start out with is just putting their heads in. Now, if you think of an egg, it's very similar to an egg. So the back of the head is curved slightly, and then the front of it is going to almost make a point, like a triangle. So we're going to go in and then just very carefully come back. So anything similar to that shape would work. They can all be a little bit different. Even an oval would work. So if I start with a curve on the back and then I come in and then back. Now notice this one's a little bit bigger than that one. Not a problem either. You can also make their heads more rounded with a little bit of a pointy nose. Now this one looks a little bit bigger, so this could be smaller ones and a more adult big one like a dad and the two little babies. What we want is all different directions, looking up, looking to the side, looking down, looking right, looking left. I would recommend that you do at least 5. I think they look nice as a grouping. So, everybody's looking kind of a different way, which is really, really fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a group of 5. Okay, just like that. Okay, the next thing is their mouths. And there's 2 ways that I think that their mouths look really cute. One is just a straight line and then a U shape, like this. And the other one, which is hard to see it with going up, so I'll do it on this one, is a straight line with a Y. And I think both look really cute. Now this guy, his mouth is up. And this one's to the side. So if you wanted to, you could actually put the mouth up here, like this. And then Y it up here, because he's almost on the side of his head. And then a Y here. Okay, so any of those work. Then we'll go ahead and put the little horns on top of the head. So 2 lines, skip a space, 2 lines, and then put the little horn ending on it. 2, 1, 2. This part of the giraffes is so repetitive that it's actually pretty easy. Where they get a little bit more tricky is when you're putting the spots on them. Also, I wanted to tell you, if you decide to use a colored pencil, don't try to color it all at once. Your hand will start hurting. It's a lot of coloring. It's a lot of work. So that's kind of cute. Now their ears are just like big leaves. So start up here and just curve out and then curve under. Curve out and then curve under. And don't worry if they look kind of floppy. Like I'm going to actually put his ears like they're kind of flopping backwards, downward, since he's looking up. This guy right here, if you think you can only see one eye, you could just put on one ear on the side here, like that. If you felt maybe his other ear might go behind, you could even do that, which is kind of funny. They're supposed to be a little bit funny. They're not supposed to be super serious. Okay, so there we got that. Now we need to figure out their eyes. You could do them looking different directions, different expressions. I'd probably just start with some sort of circle or oval shape. You could make them more diagonal, like I did on this guy. This guy I'm only going to put one eye in. Okay, see that shape's a little bit different than those. It's supposed to have sort of a cartoon face, really kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to put my pupils on this one down. Okay, this one they're looking upward. This one they're looking upward. And this one, I just thought it would be funny if I made it a little bit silly. So he's going to be a little bit cross-eyed. And this one's over looking down to the right. You see that? So he's kind of looking. Now your eyebrows, eyelashes, whatever you want. You know, putting up little eyebrows like this. Giving it a couple little eyelashes like that. I'm going to just make these eyebrows a little bit furrowed. Now this one, I think I might give him a little bit of a furrowed brow. He looks a little funny. Okay. There we go. Different expressions. Now, for the necks, you always want to start really towards the back of the head. Okay, so this is the back of the head. So I'm just going to go down like this with a little bit of curve. Now this one you can't see the back of the head. It's underneath. Okay, so we're just going to go small to a little bit wider. Not a lot wider, just a little bit wider. So small to a little bit wider. Now I think this looks like more like a male, and maybe that's a little female, you know. Narrow to a little bit wider. Okay, this one over here. Narrow. Once you have all your initial giraffes in, so really towards the back of the head, okay? Notice I stopped and started there. Narrow to a little bit wider. You can decide, hey, I've got another space here. I think I'll add one more. You know, I'm kind of looking at them. I have one going down. I got one going up. I got one going this way, one going that way, one going this way. They're all kind of doing something a little different. Okay, so I think I'll do one just completely profile right here. And I think I'll put it right here. So it's just really on its side like that. Okay, and I'll go ahead and put the little nose up. And two that you can kind of see at the top. And here's this cute little ear. And I don't think I can see the other ear, so I'm just going to leave that one out. So back of the head, narrow, getting a little wider. Now the next thing, you have to decide whether you can see their spine, because there's actually a little bit of fur on the spine. This one, no. This one you can. So I'm just going to take my pen and hit it like this. That's one way you can do it. I'm going to show you a couple ways you can do it. This one's kind of cute. If you color it with colored pencil, you could use 2 shades of brown or like a yellow and a brown. And there's no reason why you can't make pink and purple and rainbow colored giraffes too. You could really have fun with this. Well, his spine is right down his back here. So you want to go ahead and angle these downward, going away from his head. On either side wouldn't really matter, just so long as you're consistent. So this one's on the side too. It's on this side. Now here's a different way you could do it. Maybe you think his spine is like right here. So maybe you're going to make a little bit more of a wavy line like this, and then put in some angles. You see that's a little bit different? Just a different way of drawing it. Okay. This one we can't see. So this one we're going to see too. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of that wavy line. So these two will look very similar in the way that I did them. I'll show you these other ones here. You can see how these two are overlapping. You can do that as long as you change the color of the 2 giraffes. This one's got it going down his back. This one you can't see it. Okay, right, left. Anyway, you could do a whole bunch of them if you had a bigger piece of paper. Now, another way that you can do this lesson is having a whole tree behind them. But today I'm just going to show some branches like this one coming down. So the easiest way to do that is you just start out with a branch and then split it off like it's going to go and he's going to eat it, okay? Or this guy's going to eat it. So I start narrow and then I split it off, okay? Then all you have to do is kind of put a Y shape in between. So this is about where they split because they look kind of even in shape. And then I'm just going to go to a point and go to a point. Isn't that cool how that works? Okay, let's try that again. You can also just do a single branch like this and end it in a little point. If you want to do multiple branches, you might start like this. Watch. Down, out. And so I'm just going to make the point here. Then I'm going to continue and make another point, and then continue and make another point, and then I'm going to start on the other side. So I should be a little bit wider. Remember, branches go from wide to narrow. I think I'll make this one go way over here. Way over here. Then I'm going to keep following this. I'll make this branch go down here. So I'm still following it. Okay, now what if I want it to split here? I just make a Y again. Out, out, and then I just put a little V in between. Now if you notice, none of the lines touch each other on the branches, which makes them look kind of cool. I have this big space here, so I definitely want to add a branch here too. This is a little bit tricky. It'll take a lot more control. And don't forget, I don't have the luxury of erasing, so I'm being kind of careful. But if you just did it with a pencil, you can erase it if you made a mistake. Then we need leaves. Now your leaves can touch the brown branch, not a problem. You can even have them kind of stick out the end, like they're kind of trailing, like this. They don't have to all touch, but if you want to, you could connect them. That's the cool thing about art, is you can do it a little bit different than me and it'd still be cool. Like put a tree in the background, maybe some clouds, you know, really anything you wanted. These are all leaf shapes, kind of like a tear, or curve up, curve down, or an eyeball, you know. I might just add a couple more leaves here. And I'm just going to keep adding my leaves until I think I have enough for these giraffes to look like they can eat. Okay, I'm not going to keep demonstrating that because I will leave this on the screen and you can kind of see how I did it. Now I did want to show you at this point, if you wanted to, all you could do is just take your pen or your pencil, and these would be like the little teeny branches, and if you liked it better, you could connect them all. Super easy once you've drawn them. Notice how I'm just going in and connecting them all. So if you want them connected, just go ahead, do it. Okay. Now let's talk about their spots. This part's a little bit tricky. The easiest way to do it is start down the edges of him by putting kind of some half rectangles and squares. See, that's like a portion, so it looks like it's wrapping around the body. Skipping spaces, making some longer, some more square. Try not to make the spacing between them all exactly the same. They can get bigger as you get farther down the neck. Now you're going to go, look at that little mistake. Well, if you've got a pencil, you can erase it. I can't. I'm just going to leave it because if I try to mark over it right now, it's going to draw attention to it. Honestly, you're going to barely notice it unless I draw attention to it. So I'm just going to leave it. Now I'm going to go down the other side of the neck and add some in. Remember, they get bigger as you go down the body. Then all you do is fill it in. The key here is you don't want these shapes to all be exactly the same, and you don't want them to touch each other. So you kind of have to put in shapes that just kind of fit the space. See? You might have to make several of them. Like I could turn this into an odd looking shape. They are on the squarish side more than the oval side. So they tend to look more like squares than circles and ovals. You can see how they look a little bit more like a square. So that one's done. So this I would do the same thing, both sides of the neck. Get the neck edges done and then kind of fill in the negative space. That's the space in here. That would make it a lot easier. Notice how I'm getting them bigger as I go down. Now I can go in and fill the spaces between. There we go. The other thing that you'll see on your giraffes is you'll see these little tiny spots more on top of their head and a few kind of where their cheeks are. So don't overdo them. You get them too many and the faces get way too busy. So this one, you know, just a few on the cheek and then a few on the top of the head. I like this one. You could even put a little twig with a leaf in it in its mouth. That's kind of cute, huh? Little bit on the cheeks. Nowhere near the mouth and eyes, though. Okay, same thing when you're going down the spine. The only thing is you wouldn't do the little half ones on the spine. So you go ahead and put the big ones, and then you can just kind of fill in. Anyway, I hope you have fun with this lesson. See, I just did it again, made a little mistake. Just going to leave it. No one will ever know. I'm not going to go back and forth on it because then everybody knows I made a mistake. They won't even notice that little thing right there. Because when people look at their art, they aren't looking for little mistakes. They're just looking for your picture as a whole. But if I go back and forth on it, I just made everybody know where I made a mistake. So you're going to add more leaves. You're going to add all your spots. And then you're going to have fun coloring it. So checking out this drawing, I want you to see how I did this. I put like 2 shades of brown. I have orange. I have a rusty color. I actually used a couple colors on some of them. You can see that. Just to make them different shades of orange, yellow, brown. The spots are darker and the bodies are lighter. Other than that, really didn't matter. If you wanted to add a little blue in their eyes or anything like that, you could too. So I hope you have fun with this little herd of giraffe. I think it's a really cute picture, and you'll find that yours have great personalities when you do them yourself. So one more time, I was just going to show you a painted one. If you'll notice, this one didn't get finished. Let's see. So just to start. Okay, so have a good day.